What's up, guys and girls? Hope you're good. So in this video, basically, I'll just be dwelling more into like how to use the AI to basically enhance your trading experience, So one thing before we get into the ins and outs, I just wanted to highlight something that you guys should always be aware of. I'm sure you know the market always moves in phases, right? Either it's trending upwards, making higher highs and higher lows and stuff like that. And then either it's trending downwards, making lower highs and lower lows and stuff. Or either maybe it's usually moving in like a ranging state. You understand? As long as you understand these three states of the market, which is what? Number one, which is your uptrend. Number two, which is your what? Which is your downtrend, which is this phase right here. This is the uptrend, this is the downtrend, this is when the market is ranging, right? So now, what I need you to understand better if you want to be using the AI, right, is let me just clear everything up. Let me just do this. All right. So you see, like the market as it moves, just with the structure that I explained, that okay, the market moves higher. Let me just draw it onto the market itself. Keeps making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and whatnot, and whatnot. And so one thing I need you to understand, right, is the moment you see this says D right here, or whether this right here, SISD or whatever you want to call it, change in state of delivery, basically. What it means is it's signaling to you that the market is changing direction. It's potentially about to change direction from the state it is in. Meaning what? If your market is trending upwards, right, and then you see SSD, that means the market is what? Signaling that it could potentially change direction to the downside. So which means every time if you see SSD and if it's in a, let's say the market is in an uptrend, you could be taking your buy orders and whatnot. The moment you see your SSD also, that's when you should take a signal that okay, now you should start looking for what? You should start looking for sell orders. You understand? I hope that makes sense. So now, which means what are you going to be focusing on? Even though it gives you buys after giving you SSD, you're not going to take any buys after that. You're just going to be looking for sells now. So this is where now you're going to place what? Your short positions. And then until the market either gives you another SSD to the upside, you're going to be taking shorts as long as it's within that specific market range. I hope that makes sense. Which means basically if it gives you this SSD, what is it signaling to us? Now we're gonna start looking for buys because of why the market was moving downwards, and then its signal is D, meaning we could potentially change trends, and then now we're gonna be looking for what? For buys. But then now, as we can see, it gave us a SSD here on the 15-minute time frame. But then for us to find our buys, we can also now hop onto the 5-minute time frame. On the 5-minute time frame, it did actually indicate uh, this is the right here. This says the on the upside to the upside basically. Meaning what? Now we're gonna be looking for long positions. It's as simple as that. Doesn't have to be complicated or something like that. Unless if we get another SSD to the downside, that's when we're gonna potentially look to change trade. But in the meantime, we just take advantage of these buy orders. You get this buy order here on this time frame. You're just gonna switch to your MetaTrader 5 or whatever trading platform you use, and then you just take the trade. And remember, key thing is what? Always make sure you exercise in proper risk management. Don't risk more than you can. Don't risk more than you can afford to lose. You understand? Don't over risk. Don't over leverage. Take risks, uh, calculated in a calculated manner. I know. I usually you see me flip these small accounts and whatnot. It's because at the end of the day, I'm still exercising risk management, but then in a different format. Instead of me using a stop loss, I actually fund the amount that was supposed to be in a stop loss into that trading account, which means I'm risking that amount into that specific trade. Doesn't make sense. Until we see a SSD, this SSD right here is signaling that we could potentially move lower, which means now I was going to be expecting sells here, but then I got buys. I was not going to take the buys. Now the SSD came through. So since this SSD came through to the buy side, which means what? we either potentially, once you see these forming close to each other, it's signaling that the market could be ranging. You understand? So which means now, if it's signaling that this is the could potentially go to the upside, now I'm gonna start looking for buys there. If it signals this is the to the downside, I'm only gonna look for sells. So you're just gonna be using this CSD to break to try and configure whether the trend is moving upwards or downwards. It's as simple as that. Doesn't have to be complicated. The aim at the end of the day is to keep trading as simple as possible. I hope otherwise I don't want to make this video long. I hope you understood what the concept that I explained to you. And yeah, shout out guys and girls, and enjoy the rest of your day or whatever time frame you're on. Shout out.